Promise keepers, men of integrity, keeping their promises to Christ, their families, and to one another. Coach Bill McCartney founded the ministry 34 years ago. Today, a new generation of young men are facing new challenges in these troubling times, but many of the solutions remain the same. Well, joining us is the new CEO of Promise Keepers, Shane Winnings. Shane is the founder of Overcomers and a veteran of U.S. Army Special Forces who served one tour of duty in Afghanistan. He's author of the book, Your Next Leap of Faith. Shane, it's good to have you with us. So a new generation of leadership now at Promise Keepers, but with many of the same solutions to the problems facing young Christian men and seekers of Jesus today. So what do us baby boomers need to understand about the challenges facing younger believers today? How do their challenges differ from those that we experienced?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. In this generation, we have access to things in an instant that, your generation did not. Looking at smartphones, how kids can be on the internet and be exposed to all different kinds of things, good and bad, at the ease of just unlocking their parents' phone or their own phone in many cases. I even remember when I was growing up, I didn't get a cell phone until I was a senior in high school, and we definitely didn't have the capability of these smartphones today. And so what we're seeing is a generation of people who are being shaped and molded by the world because of the things they see on social media.
Well, many older Americans see young people joining pro-Hamas protests on college campuses, getting their information on Instagram or TikTok, and then they wonder, how do we reach these young people? How do we help young men become courageous, to be men of integrity, especially if they haven't been taught that respect, integrity at home?
Yeah, we need to be the voice of that movement, of the movement of integrity and purity and godly truth, and also be the example. Kids are looking for someone to model. They're looking for someone to look up to. And so you see these worldly examples of people who are rising up, and they demonstrate worldly masculinity, which is perverted in many senses, which is more about dominion and it's less about godly characteristics. And so when it comes to masculinity, when it comes to Hamas, when it comes to any political things, it really shouldn't surprise us that the generation who's in college right now, they're just taking to whatever they hear, whatever's popular. These fringe type examples are the ones that they latch onto in many of the issues of the day, whether it's, the right to life in the womb or, the LGBTQ movement. We're seeing a generation latch on to what used to be the 1% or less stance, and they're now trying to, become a majority. And you see that with these interviews of kids on college campuses. They don't actually know what they're even protesting about. They don't know what they stand for. And when they're confronted with facts and with truth, they pridefully, rebuttal against it, even though they have no solid argument to stand on in the first place.
And I know you have a heart for veterans. You are one. And many veterans are involved with Promise Keepers. Many have come to Christ after their military service. So what is it about your time serving in U.S. Army Special Forces that changed you?
I think serving with some of the nation's most elite, I'd say the world's most elite soldiers, it'll just do something to you. When you're around people who are great, it makes you want to be great. And, at that level, mistakes can cost human lives. And so I think there's just something to be said about understanding the gravity of what we did, but also understanding, the sobering reality that life, is short. It's a wisp of vapor, the Bible says. Tomorrow is not promised. And so that really fuels my charge as I lead this organization, is that we can't count on tomorrow. We need to impact the men of our nation and our world today.
And I know Promise Keepers is shifting back now a bit to the big stadium events that put the ministry on the map. So why the shift, and what can we expect in Tulsa this summer?
Promise Keepers is known and remembered for these big, men's conferences in stadiums and arenas around the country. And we're going back to our roots in that sense. And Tulsa will be more of the same as far as the heart and the roots of Promise Keepers, a classic 2-day event, amazing spirit-filled worship, And what we will see are speakers that some may recognize, some might not, speakers who are going to equip us in different areas of life so that we can leave that conference that weekend in Tulsa more equipped to face the issues of the day.
And I see that Charlie Kirk is scheduled for the Tulsa event. Does that mean Promise Keepers is becoming a bit more political?
Yeah, that's a great question. Absolutely not. You know, we've platformed athletes, we've platformed people from so many different spheres of influence, and no one accused us of going in any different direction. But I think it is funny when we bring someone who speaks into the political realm, people immediately believe that we're heading that direction. I believe Charlie has been extremely effective at reaching this generation with truth. He is a Bible-believing Christian, and he reaches this generation in a way that many people don't. And I'm excited to hear him in Tulsa this summer.
Okay, Shane Winning, CEO of Promise Keepers, thank you for your service and your commitment to our country. Most importantly, your devotion and service to Jesus Christ. Thanks for being with us. God bless you.
Thank you so much.